All of this is justified as long as we find a place packed with Mexicans, full of energy. Otherwise, I don't understand what's going on. The whole downtown feels kind of empty. Maybe it's because people are working, but I want to believe it's because of the game. Is there a lot of excitement when the United States plays? Not really, I don't think so.
I mean, like, no, it's really like that. Look, now, I don't see a lot of Americans wearing their jerseys. It doesn't really happen, right? Because when you go to Mexico, in Mexico, people go insane, bro. You haven't seen anything like a lot of people from the United States in their jerseys.
They're gonna throw you around and they're like, he wants to fly, he wants to fly, he wants to fly. And when the United States plays, does the same thing happen? No, there's not that atmosphere.
Nope.
No, this place feels like Mexico, doesn't it?
I didn't know we were in Puebla.
This is supposed to be the Plaza de las Artes, but it really feels a lot like being in Mexico. The architecture looks colonial, like something you'd expect to find in the main square of a Mexican city. And also the little plaza and the kiosk and everything. How interesting. Man, you can tell they really bring a great atmosphere here. Imagine coming all the way to Los Angeles to eat tlayudas. Well, just look at the big party going on out here. Let's give another round of applause for all the Mexicans. Welcome to another episode of Mundial Sin Boleto. This time we're in Los Angeles, California for two reasons. One, because they say there's no atmosphere in the United States and we wanted to see if that's true. And that's why we chose Los Angeles, which is the city with the largest Mexican population in the entire United States. And if there's going to be atmosphere anywhere, it's definitely going to be here. And the second reason is because we bought the wrong ticket for the wrong match. The thing is, if Mexico had finished in second place, they would have played right here in Los Angeles against the second place team from Group B. But anyway, we're already here, so let's take the opportunity to show you what the World Cup atmosphere is like in the United States and what the Mexico match is like. By the way, I'm going to give you my prediction. Today at 12:20, I'm telling you that Mexico is going to win 2-0 against Ecuador. I've already gotten 3 predictions right, and if I get this one too, then just give me the official title of Wizard of Metapec. But anyway, let's start our tour at a very beautiful place called The Grove. It's one of the most famous places to shop, eat, and stroll here in Los Angeles. But it's not a regular shopping mall, since it's designed like a kind of idealized street with its own fountain, a trolley, music, and upscale outdoor restaurants. And overall, it feels like you're in a movie, don't you think, Fer? Yes.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It's like a Chinese Wuchang.
Like an old Chinese street, but American.
Well, from the US.
It's like it portrays the American experience at its finest. Luxury shopping, excess capitalism, and good food all inside a mall that looks like a film studio. Now we're going to take the Los Angeles subway to get to a place known as Central Market. It was highly recommended to us because there's a great Latin vibe. And we're definitely gonna find Mexicans there to ask them where we can watch the game. It'll take us about half an hour to get there. And I think the trip cost us $2. It feels strangely familiar. It's set up like the Mexico City subway, at least the seats are. But it feels very clean, it feels pretty new. I had seen some videos of the New York subway where supposedly there were rats and all that, but no, this one is actually pretty nice. I'm still adding to my lawyer ad collection. Here's a new one I hadn't seen, Uber Lawyer. This one is for Ubers, I guess, or maybe that's his name, I don't know. But yeah, there are ads for injuries, for accidents, for crashes. It seems like each one specializes in something. Now we're right in the heart of Los Angeles. This area is very close to where the consulate's celebration will take place, for which we don't have tickets. When did we actually see the thing about the consulate?
2 days ago, right? We asked, someone told us about it when we were walking around Venice Beach, but they said, no man, I don't think they'll let you in because people reserve way in advance. And we realized that here, the World Cup events open to the public require a pre-registration.
Obviously, the idea is to avoid overcrowding, like what has happened in Mexico. Last time, Noelia and I went to the Zocalo, and honestly, there was a moment when we really felt like we were suffocating. And I told Noelia, I think this is on the verge of a catastrophe. I wouldn't be surprised, and knock on wood, I hope it doesn't happen. that soon there will be news saying that someone suffocated or that someone got crushed, because honestly, it's really intense. Yeah.
And I felt at risk that day when we were at the Angel.
This is what we were looking for. You have to know that Central Market is one of the most iconic places in downtown Los Angeles, and it opened in 1917. Basically, this is an iconic food market where you can see a little bit from all over the world. There's all kinds of food. Maybe this is the right place to find out where to watch the game later. Los Angeles is like the perfect place for anyone who loves to eat. Honestly, everything's here. Even little markets where you can buy dried chiles, garlic, all the ingredients you need to make a salsa, seeds, sesame, dried shrimp, and of course all kinds of Mexican candies. Here you have the spicy candies, gummies, little worms, little eggs, everything we love to eat as Mexicans. You won't miss any of it here. On one side you have Ana Maria's Mexican food, and on the other side you have La Sandunga, which has the one and only authentic al pastor spit. I think it's the only one we've seen since arriving. On the other side they have the fruit stand with bananas, papayas, tomatoes, oranges, and tell me if it doesn't feel like a real Mexican market. In the middle of the market they have a FIFA store. For those who say you can't feel the World Cup atmosphere, here in the middle of the market they have a FIFA store. Overall, I really like this market, but you know what? It's much smaller than I thought.
Yes, I also imagined something bigger.
Maybe because it's called Grand Central Market.
No, and you know what else I imagined? What? I imagined it would be more like a market. This feels way too organized already. And I think maybe one factor is that even though there are foods from all over the world in that market, Mexican food predominates.
And it's true what Noelia says, that markets in China and Mexico are more chaotic, they're more crowded, there are a lot more stalls, it's more condensed, and there's a lot of variety. So this one feels very organized, very clean, yes.
It feels manufactured.
It feels like, yeah, like the food court of a mall, but that doesn't make it any less nice. I'm sure there's some really delicious food. My dish was exquisite. In front is Angel's Flight, the shortest little train in the world. It's very famous. It's been in a lot of movies. In fact, it appeared in the movie La La Land. And while at the time it was something very useful for people because it goes up a very steep slope that connects to one of the main avenues, nowadays it's more of a tourist attraction. It's very popular, something you shouldn't miss if you're here in Los Angeles. What I don't know is how to ride it. Maybe it's already gone?
The question is whether it still has a public transportation price or if it already has a tourist price, right?
I think it's not operating right now. Yeah, pay fare at the top. So can we get on? Let's see, maybe we can. How?
How? Well, apparently we can get through. Well, I don't know how it works.
But, well, me neither. There's no ticket booth or anything. It just says to pay when you get to the top, about 50 per person.
Yeah, it sounds like it's working. It's not too steep for me. Do you think it works or not?
I guess, let's see. Hello, we're ready. There doesn't seem to be anyone here to tell us if it's going to work or not.
The door's just closed and we're actually going up. Look, Mitzi, look.
The other car is going down. One goes up and the other goes down. Whoa, dude. Goodbye. This feels like it's gonna fall apart.
What era did you say this train was from?
Because like from the early 1900s, something like that. If we come here when Mexico wins, will it count as if we went to celebrate at the Angel?
Or maybe we celebrate at the Angel ahead of time.
Well, the only thing we want is for Mexico to soar just like the Angel. We just got on the Angel's flight to this place called California Plaza. And supposedly we're in the center of the city, right in the heart. And it's totally dead. There are no people on the streets. It feels really empty. And I'm starting to suspect two things. One, there's not going to be any atmosphere. Or two, everyone is already at the place where they're going to watch the game. And it's just that there are only 2 hours left before the game. We got here late. I hope it's the second option. I hope everyone is already ready to watch the game. Because otherwise this video isn't going to have much to talk about. Our next stop is the Disney Concert Hall. But on the way we came across this contemporary art museum known as The Broad. Apparently they were some eccentric millionaires with a taste for contemporary art. They opened this museum to showcase their personal collection, and then it grew. And nowadays it has become one of the most popular museums in the Los Angeles area. But what we wanted to see was the Disney Concert Hall. And to see if by any chance there's an event these days, it would be nice to come. And I think this is it. Boom.
Well, It says right there, Disney Concert Hall.
Yeah, look, this is it. This is the Disney Concert Hall, and this is the Contemporary Art Museum. Both buildings are pretty interesting, pretty abstract. But, well, it goes well with the vibe of the city. What do you think, Fer?
Well, yeah, I mean, looking at this work of art, I would say it's like Disney wanted to make a futuristic Picasso. It's really cool, it's really cool. It's just that it doesn't fit my definition of Disney. But it's really cool. I like it a lot. When you think of Disney, you think of the Disney castle, but no, guys, the Disney Concert Hall looks like this.
There's supposed to be ship sails, pedals, or metal sheets moving with the wind. That's why every angle looks different and the light bounces in a unique way. But anyway, the point is that it's one of the most famous concert halls in the United States, and definitely the most famous one in Los Angeles. Something that has really impressed us is seeing the driverless taxis. And not because we've never seen one before. Remember, in China they're everywhere, but seeing them in the United States is impressive. We thought they only existed in China. In fact, they were only in Shenzhen and those first-tier cities. But here they have them too, and they're really strange. Because they have like windmills on top, they're kind of triple equipped, right? Different from the ones we have back in China. Right next to the Disney Concert Hall is the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, or Dorothy Chandler's Pavilion. The point is that the Oscar ceremonies used to be held here, and it's also one of the most famous opera houses and theaters in the world. Apparently we arrived a little late, and at this point there are no tours or anything. Keep in mind that today is Tuesday the 30th and that Mexico is going to play in just a few hours, so it makes sense that it's empty. All of this is justified as long as we find a place packed with Mexicans full of energy. Otherwise, I don't understand what's going on. The whole downtown feels kind of empty. Maybe it's because people are working, but I want to believe it's because of the game. Still, it's a very beautiful park, very beautiful. I love the fountains it has, even though the one in the center is turned off.
It's a very pleasant walk.
But I really don't understand where the people, the tourists, and the pets are. At the far end of the park, what you can see is something like the Los Angeles City Hall or the Grand City Hall of Los Angeles. It's very beautiful. It looks like a white obelisk or like a tower that rises at the end of the park. That's something we've noticed a lot in this kind of park and pretty much throughout the whole city. There is an incredible number of homeless people. We see them everywhere. We've even seen people living inside their cars. In fact, one time we got really scared because we were passing by a 7-Eleven and saw a homeless man with his face painted like a clown. And we came back at night and he was there waiting for us outside the 7-Eleven. He came up to us and we thought, oh God, but he just asked us to buy him a drink, and of course we didn't do it. But Noelia did get a little scared, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that you don't expect it.
Let's see. Yes, we've seen them. Of course, there are some in Mexico City too. The thing is, and don't take this as being unpatriotic, but the truth is that in China you don't see this. In China it doesn't exist. At least where we live, you might see one at most every 6 months, maybe if you get closer to the border with Hong Kong, but the truth is you don't see homeless people in everyday life. It's something that disappeared a long time ago, and when you see it again, it really strikes you. So, don't take it as being unpatriotic. You know that we just show you and tell you what we see, and that's it. We're not getting into politics or criticism, because in the end, every country has its own processes, and that's not the point, but we do tell you how we feel with complete honesty. There's the Los Angeles City Hall, and the closer you get, the more impressive it looks. It really stands out because of its color and its very peculiar shape, a phallic shape.
What does phallic mean, Caillou? What does it mean?
You don't know what a phallic shape is, no?
Please define it for me.
Don't worry. Let them tell you in the comments that it's a shape. The point is that it really stands out. It looks like an obelisk in the middle of the city, and I think this would be the perfect place to put up a screen and show the game or something like that. The soccer atmosphere in the United States is awesome. We're right at City Hall, at the main City Hall, the central block, what would be the equivalent of the Zocalo in Los Angeles. It was like a fan fest. It was like a fan fest here.
Yes, it was being sponsored by Turkey, but when they moved, it stayed. That was a few days ago.
We were looking for the Mexican part of the city. Where should we go?
Wow, I'm not Mexican, so right, I honestly don't know, but it shouldn't be too hard to find, but I'll just put it that way. You see a lot of people with, Mexican shirts or flags or whatever, so I would go down this street.
Street?
You'll run into it eventually. awesome. Union Station is between 5th and 6th.
I want to ask you, when the United States plays, is there a lot of excitement or not? Is there like an event? Is there a lot of people in the streets going crazy?
Like, there's not really too much. Like, look at it now. I don't see a lot of Americans wearing their jerseys.
It doesn't really happen, right? Because when you go to Mexico and Mexico plays, people go insane, bro. Yeah, you haven't seen anything like that. It's crazy. If you're on the streets, they're going to throw you around and they're like, quiere volar, quiere volar, quiere volar. And when the United States plays, does the same thing happen?
No.
No, there's not that atmosphere, no.
No.
So there aren't people in the streets with flags, nobody gets tossed around.
Yes, no one like that. It's a shame.
And if we want to see the best Mexican atmosphere, where do we have to go? Should we go watch with other Mexicans?
Cita Vera here.
Shoplifting is a more severe offense punishable by death than the capitalist murder of an innocent black baby.
Behind us, there's a Black Lives Matter protest, and they're saying that there are white people who might steal some diapers from a store and nothing happens to them, but if a black person steals some bread to eat, they get locked up. Apparently, racism is something that still persists here in the United States. And we're not just saying this because of the protests we're seeing, but also because when we were in San Diego, we got on the subway. We were coming from the Padres game and there was a man who was a little drunk, nothing out of the ordinary, but he was happy. And while talking to us, he started speaking to us in English and realized that we spoke Spanish. And the moment we realized he spoke Spanish, we switched to and started speaking Spanish to him, but he told us, no, you guys practice. Don't be afraid to practice. Here, a lot of people will make fun of you, especially when they notice you have an accent, but don't worry, just keep practicing. And interestingly, the ones who make fun of you the most are other Latinos, but that's because for a long time they were bullied for not speaking English. It's their way of getting back at others, which happens a lot here, and he got very passionate about it. You can tell he didn't have a good time at first trying to learn English, and that gives us the impression that there might still be some kind of latent discrimination. And well, there's the proof, right? That leads to demonstrations like the one we saw back there. Now we're passing through Chinatown. And it's really interesting because the Chinatown subway station literally has the architecture of a Chinese building, so there's no way not to know that you've reached the most Chinese part of town. But the history of this place is really interesting because it turns out that the real Chinatown was originally where Union Station is now. However, when they decided to build that station, they had to demolish what was Chinatown, and the Chinese community moved a few blocks away and had to rebuild everything from scratch. That's why, since 1930, this Chinatown emerged as an alternative place to live for people coming from Asia, and in honor of that, they built them a very beautiful station. It's probably the most unique station in this city and unmistakable at the same time. It's very interesting how all the businesses here have something to do with China. For example, this is the Bank of America, but it has its name in Chinese. It says Mego Megoinhang there, and at the same time, the building or the architecture is completely oriental with the classic Chinese roofs, and the colors too. And apparently all of this is already Chinatown. I asked Charlie Petit if it was worth coming, and he said unless I was going to eat Chinese food, he'd recommend the Japanese neighborhood instead. But you know that we are in love with Chinese culture and we had to see it. I know it's a bit late. I know the Mexico game is about to start, but even so, we had to come by here. And it was worth it because it's very interesting for us to find Chinese architecture in the middle of the United States. The lamps also emulate what we see over there every day, but it still feels strange because you see the American flags that say 4th of July celebration and everything is written in Chinese. That's very strange, especially with the tense situation these two countries are experiencing, and here is the Dragon Gate, that's what they call it, the Dragon Gate. I think this is where Chinatown's main tourist area starts, and the neighborhood truly looks old. It's clear it hasn't been updated much. It hasn't had a facelift in a while, but the thing is, this neighborhood has a lot of history, and as I was saying, they had to move here, which led to a lot of renovation, but even so, we're talking about something that was built back at the beginning of the last century. It's already late and many places are closed, but we're still going in to see what it's like. It feels like being on a Chinese movie set, doesn't it?
How funny is it that this Chinese architecture is probably older than the ancient Chinese towns?
It's not a lie, that's a great observation. In China, there's something called wuchangs, which are like ancient towns. However, many of them are very new. They were just built or rebuilt for tourism. They've already become very commercial. In fact, there are many young Chinese people who complain about this because they say it's lost its authenticity. They also generate significant income for locals, bringing many benefits, and many are very beautiful. However, after I've seen about 4 or 5 of them, they start to look quite similar, but this one has a pretty American vibe. This is the only pagoda in the world where they sell cocktails and snacks. Remember that pagodas are traditionally religious architectural symbols. They have a lot of meaning. However, here in the United States, this pagoda sells cocktails. What a huge stereotype. Here in the middle of the street, there's a Kung Fu statue. I mean, it's true that Kung Fu is from there and that in many places there are statues like these. But yeah, what else could you expect from a Chinatown, right? The Statue of Blue would be less than this. And now we started talking with an elderly person, a Chinese man who has been here for many years. And what he told us was really interesting because we first started talking about the differences between living in China and living here. And at first he told us that he is about to retire, that he was very excited because he is going back to China, going back to his province, and that there are many things he likes there. I told him how much we enjoy living in China and mentioned that in the United States there's high pressure and a high cost of living, which puts a lot of stress on regular people. And suddenly he turned around, and I don't know if he felt a little offended, and he started defending life in the United States, and he told me, no, but here you make more money, here you live better. And then I didn't understand anymore. I said, I think I hit a nerve, so I immediately changed my attitude and told him, no, yes, look, don't get me wrong, I also think it's great, life is very good here and all that. His heart is divided, he misses his home, but at the same time he also wants to feel that it was worth it to move to the other side of the planet to build his life. Since his son grew up here, he clearly feels strong affection for this country. Talking with him was interesting, and I wish I'd had more time. Right now we are at one of the oldest stations in Los Angeles, which was built at the beginning of the last century when traveling was still a luxury. Here at the station there are screens where you can potentially watch the game. A lady told us that it's worth watching it on Olvera Street. But she also warned us to be very careful, and I asked her why, and she said, well, because there are thieves here. I mean, how? We're in the United States. She said, no, please be careful with your cameras and microphones. If you're not from here, be cautious. As soon as you leave the station, you start to feel a little bit of that World Cup atmosphere we're looking for here in the city of Los Angeles. We found Mascarita Sagrada and Rey Mysterio here. Greetings, guys. Go Mexico, brother. Do you know where we can watch the match?
We're going to LA Live.
LA Live. Is it an event?
It's a place where they do crypto.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that area will.
Show it. And is it free? No. Do you have to register or something? No. Here's a tip. We can go to LA Live where the crypto arena is. But first we want to walk a bit downtown and see what the pregame atmosphere is like. I'm going to tell you a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. Max and Noelia. All right. See you guys. Subscribe. They spoke to me in English. That's interesting, isn't it? It seems their parents are Mexican, but they already have the American mindset. It's like Noelia, who was born in Spain. Her parents are Spanish and so on. But when you talk to her, you would never realize that Noelia wasn't born in Mexico. This station is really in the middle of everything. Look, from here you can walk to Chinatown. You can walk to Little Tokyo, to the Arts District. As part of the festivities, there are already people here buying the t-shirt. They even sell the Chivas t-shirt. I think it's over there. And I'm telling you, there's a large Mexican population here. It's huge. Supposedly, more than 30% of the people who live in Los Angeles are Mexican or have Mexican origins or descent. This place looks like Mexico, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
It's like we're still in Puebla.
This is supposed to be the Plaza de las Artes, but it really feels a lot like being in Mexico. The architecture looks colonial, like something you'd expect to find in the main square of a Mexican city. And also the little plaza, the gazebo, everything. How interesting. Here we can get hibiscus water, watermelon, strawberry, mango. Where are we again, Fer?
In Los Angeles.
Right, it's easy to forget where you are. Let's see, I think I'll buy a horchata. Hi, Maite, how are you? Hi.
Very well.
Thanks. I see you have all kinds of drinks here. Where are you from?
From Mexico City.
You're from Mexico City, and have you been here for a long time? Yes. Yes.
I was born here, and actually it's a family business.
Oh, you were born here?
I was born here. My grandpa started this business 55 years ago.
Wow.
He was the first fruit vendor in Los Angeles, and actually, he was recognized for being the first to sell fruit with tajin and lime.
You speak Spanish as if you were Mexican. Why? Did they always speak to you in Spanish, or how did that happen?
In Spanish, yes, growing up. And I also lived in Mexico City for 5 years. Actually, I used to spend my summers in Mexico City and studied there.
No wonder. Hey, are there a lot of Mexicans here in Los Angeles? So many.
I mean, I went to high school here, and everyone at my high school was Latino.
So did you speak Spanish in high school?
Not really. Many people also don't speak it well, but always with family.
Interesting. So how have people experienced the World Cup here?
Honestly, yes, it's been getting good. In fact, where I think you're headed is where the atmosphere is great.
And who are you rooting for, the United States or Mexico? Mexico. Mexico. Well, they have a lot of fans, right? Yes, too many. Well, let's go check out the atmosphere, shall we? And is it safe to walk around here at night?
At night, not really. Just because there are a lot of, well, homeless people. That's why.
Uh-huh. Is there any place we shouldn't go? Any place we should avoid?
You can drive through just if you want to. Well, see it, I guess I could say. But Skid Row is a bit rough.
Is it close?
Yes, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, shocking. Uh-huh. Well, thank you very much. What's the score going to be for Mexico today? With what?
Motivation, right?
It doesn't matter. Well said. He told us there's going to be an event here, but apparently you needed a ticket, and honestly, we didn't know that. Well, let's go ask and see if maybe out of pity they'll let us in. And if they have a fan fest and everything, it's really nice. Woo! What?
We found out about this, and I only knew about the one at Memorial Coliseum, which is the stadium of... I'm not a fan of any team here in Los Angeles, but at that one they charge for everything, and they told us, like, no, sometimes they have it. But how is it possible if in Mexico City you can go celebrate the World Cup every day?
No tickets for the matches, no tickets for the fan fest, no tickets for this event. That's why it's Mundial Sin Boletos. It looks like this is the event. Tickets are sold out. Well, let's ask anyway. Maybe we can get in to check things out or something. The Mexico jersey, of course, I'm already wearing it. The hats, the old jerseys. Man, you can tell there's going to be a great atmosphere here. We've managed to get in. What's your name? Sorry?
Florentina Garcia.
Florentina Garcia, thank you very much for the invitation. We really thought we were going to miss out on the fun, but no, look at us now. Perfect. And you didn't imagine it was going to be this big.
Well, it's great that we have our little piece of Mexico here.
Right? Everything is free. Yes, organized by the consulate. What a huge party. They're starting the day with a warm-up. They're getting in shape for after the celebration. Look, there's an amazing atmosphere here in Los Angeles before the match. Honestly, I'm surprised that this event is free because I have to tell you, we haven't found anything free here, not even the parking. And here they organized a really nice event so that all Mexicans, people of Mexican descent, or simply lovers of our country can come and enjoy Mexico's victory against Ecuador. Here they have a foosball section, they have ice cream. Here they have Mexican cuisine. Look, Oaxacan flavors. They sell aguas frescas. Here you can even buy tlayudas. Imagine coming all the way to Los Angeles to eat tlayudas. But they don't just have tlayudas, they have tamales, tortas, aguas frescas, tacos, anything you can imagine, they have it here. These are the tlayudas.
These are the tlayudas.
They look good. Are you from Oaxaca or from here? No, we're from Oaxaca. They're from Oaxaca. You brought the tlayudas. Just look at this beauty. They have the World Cup sandwich here. It's a sandwich that has beans, cheese, lettuce, tomato, avocado, and I don't know what else. But it sounds really good. We'll have a World Cup sandwich, please. Yes, yes, with grilled beef, al pastor, or pork. Al pastor, please. Here's your World Cup sandwich, Furphy. Oh, it's shaped like a soccer ball. Yes, it's shaped like a ball. It's made with pastor from Guerrero. It's like a hamburger bun. Here they don't use bolillo, they don't have telera, so they make it with a hamburger bun. But what makes a good sandwich is the sauce and the meat. It's really tasty. A little $24 sandwich. The most expensive sandwich you've ever bought in your life, but delicious. No, Dr. Simi had to be here. What are you doing around here?
But it's like a Hawaiian Dr. Simi.
Right? Yeah, this is a Californian Dr. Simi. There are all kinds of Dr. Simi. You know that Dr. Simi adapts and is everywhere, but here it's the California Dr. Simi with his sandals and everything.
Dr. Simi is on vacation.
Look at the food. This is a real authentic tlayuda with 3 kinds of meat. Cecina, adobada cecina, and chorizo. And what do you think, Furbin?
It's great since I hadn't tried it before.
You've never tried a tlayuda before? Noelia had never tried a tlayuda or a torta ahogada, and she's trying them for the first time here in Los Angeles, so Latinos can see what this place is like. What's your name, sorry?
Hi, my name is Angelica.
Angelica, do you live here in Los Angeles?
No, I come especially for events that have to do with Mexican culture or tradition on very specific dates.
And well, in this case, we're at this World Cup party here at Casa Mexico.
I mean, you're constantly traveling to different places to promote Mexican culture, yes.
Let me tell you, look, we are a project called Hearts, Hands, Manos de Corazon. We support more than 15 artisan families from Puebla headed by single mothers. All the products you see here, from the jewelry, the textiles, the bags, the amate paper, everything is made by these single mothers. We have two main goals.
As I mentioned, to promote Mexico's tradition and culture through its handicrafts.
And of course, the second purpose is to be able to support, encourage, and really strengthen the economy of these artisan mothers who, as you can see, are so skilled with their hands and make beautiful things.
And the most beautiful thing about handicrafts is that no piece is the same as another. Each piece is unique.
The reality for artisans in Mexico is that they're under a lot of financial strain. And on top of that, when they take their products to an expo, people haggle with them. We're not talking about INEGI statistics, but an average artisan earns about 6,000 pesos a month, which is $300.
Imagine what an artisan could do with that.
That's why I took it upon myself to found this, to be able to bring it, to be able to promote it, because our artisans would love to be here, but they have a lot of financial limitations. They don't have papers, right? So here you are seeing 15 families who are proudly represented here so that our fellow countrymen, the Mexican community, and the children who were born here can know where their roots come from. Thank you very much.
And where can people follow you, or where can they find you?
We are on Instagram. We have our profile. You can find us as Hearts, Hands MX, and here is the QR code so you can follow us.
Thanks, Angelica. We were already on our way and planned to get some semitas.
Of course, we'll be waiting for you there with open arms.
I don't know what the capacity of this place is, but people keep coming. The masked fans keep arriving. The flags, the hats, the jerseys. People excited to see Mexico make it to the legendary fifth match. It's been years and years since we've achieved it, and even though this is a special circumstance, I think it counts, and it counts a lot. Brother, what's your name? Your name is William? Your name is William? William, are you from here?
Yes, I'm from here, from Pico Rivera.
Born and raised in Los Angeles? Yes.
In Los Angeles.
And how is it that you speak Spanish too?
My mom, my dad speaks Spanish, but since I'm the third child, I didn't learn it very well.
So do you feel more comfortable in English? Yes? How has the World Cup been over here? In my opinion, really, really good. Like, it's been great.
Where do people go to hang out for the World Cup? A lot of people have been going to Santa Monica. A lot of people have also been going to all the festivals. The festivals are really good. It's been great. Los Angeles.
How do you feel?
A Colombian restaurant in Koreatown that hosted the Colombia Games and La Plaza de la Cultura here, just as they've hosted Mexico Games here. It's been great. They have been hosting the games at La Plaza de la Cultura here, like they have been hosting the Mexico Games right here. Like, it's been, yes.
There's a good atmosphere. Hey, tell me, you were born here, right? Who do you support? Mexico or the United States, or how does it work for you?
For me, I'm supporting both Mexico and the United States, yes.
Both, yes. If they end up facing each other in the final, what then?
Mexico, ha ha ha, good. It's just that it has the
coolest vibe.
Yes. Tell me.
What about this? It's Dr. Simi. Is he famous here?
Yes.
He's well known here. Someone's in a Dr. Simi costume. What? How much?
How will the game end today?
2-1 for Mexico.
They finally put the broadcast on the huge screen they have up front. The game was delayed an hour due to a huge storm, but oh well.
Mexicans at the cry of war, ready your steel and bridle.
The roar of let's go, let's go, let's go, Mexico.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, Mexico.
Let's go. Damn it, let's go, Mom!
The game has us on edge. Mexico, what a gem. That Quiñones is a real gem. We're in the hydration break. It's cool because when the teams take a break from the game, people come in to cheer and liven up the atmosphere. So the little candle of hope stays lit. Hey.
Okay. Let's do the Home Depot raffle. And even though I'm not on solid ground, I'm staying.
Misha, masale.
So! Good.
Good.
Good!
Vamos, 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 México! Vamos, 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 México!
Come on.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Sing and don't cry.
But cry because the black struggle is ours. Subscribe.
And cry.
Because the black struggle is ours.
Cry because the celebration, the black struggle is all of Mexico, ours.
And we brought from Doris that the struggle.
Black is...
Sing, cry.
Cry.
Let's hear it one more time for all my fellow Mexicans. We're going to win Sunday. The black fight continues. Cry the fight.